We've got about an hour, and so the scope of this talk, as is always the case, will have some limitations to it. So we'll be talking about essentially two of the costs regimes that are presently in existence for PI claims. That's portal claims, so those that run through stages 1, 2, and 3. And those are, as you can see, referred to as portal claims, and they're covered by Section 3 of Part 45. And then we'll also talk about the ex-portal claims, which are covered by Section 3A of Part 45. Technically, ex-portal claims can end up in Section 2 of Part 45. That's an alternative regime. It's mutually exclusive to the other two, and it's a fairly limited application these days. And then there's also, finally, of course, the small claims RTA portal. That's also outside of this talk because it deals with far more procedural elements, and the costs are almost a bit of an afterthought, and of course of less significance in small claims cases, as has always historically been the case. So the tables, how do we work them? What's the significance of them? So first of all, we can see here in Bird that a disposal hearing, so it's never been allocated to the fast track, again suggests that that's not a necessary step for the tables to apply, but a disposal counts as a trial for those tables. So if you're lucky enough to get default judgment and then merely go to a true disposal hearing with 30 minutes, no oral evidence, which are provided for explicitly within the rules, that they are a specific beast and are not to be confused with a short fast track trial. You're lucky enough to skip all the way through to the final stage. So that makes life simple. If you've gone all the way through to that final stage because you've been listed for a disposal, but at the disposal, the court allow an application to set aside a default judgment, or even just provide for a trial for quantum purposes, as sometimes happens. Perhaps the evidence isn't complete, or there are some confusions within it. Then obviously, arguably, you've skipped backwards at that stage. You might get allocated at that stage, I suppose, but the costs don't backtrack down. So you're thereafter always going to be in the RTA table, at least within the 2655 plus 20% stage.